Okay, so I would like to prefix the convoluted combo that I am about to explain with, we have played this deck before, and it is much better than the combo I am about to explain would imply. Now, this deck is capable of taking infinite turns. How do we take infinite turns? You have Chance for Glory and Callous Dismissal in your graveyard. You have Gideon in play with an emblem that says you can't lose the game. And then you have 2 copies of Rodan/Vadrok here to flashback spells. How do you execute infinite turns? So you have your Callous Dismissal token in play. You mutate Vadrok onto the token. And then cast Chance for Glory out of your graveyard, taking a turn. Then, on your new turn, you mutate a second Vadrok onto your existing Vadrok, letting you cast 2 spells from your graveyard. You cast Chance for Glory again, and you cast Callous Dismissal, bouncing your 2 Vadroks to your hand and making a new token. And then from there, you repeat that until your opponent dies. So, again, you Vadrok onto the token, take a turn. You Vadrok onto Vadrok, take a turn, bounce the Vadroks to your hand, make a new token. And Chance for Glory doesn't lose you the game because you have Gideon in play that says you can't lose the game because of his emblem. Now, how do we survive? So the reason why this deck is reasonable is not because we're assembling this 6-card combo every game. The reason why this deck felt decent last time we played it was because we get to play things like Wrath of God and Deck in Stone to control the board. And we get to play things like Narset to search for our combo pieces. And honestly, Search for Glory is kind of the thing that ties everything together, because this finds Gideon, it finds Vadrok, and you can use Vadrok to recast Search for Glory out of your graveyard to find another missing combo piece. So like Search for Glory, generally speaking, finds you 2 of your combo pieces. Another thing that's really interesting that is overlooked a lot of the time is this card makes the creatures in play indestructible permanently, which means Chance for Glory with the Gideon emblem often wins you games even without full comboing, because you'll like have Vadrok and like a 2/2 and a 1/1 in play, and you'll make them permanently indestructible, which just stonewalls creature decks in the format. And it lets your board survive your copies of Wrath of God, so it turns Wrath of God into Plagued Wind, which is really sweet. Yeah, so let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this. It felt very reasonable last time we played it. I'm hoping it feels good and reasonable again. Maybe it was a fluke last time we played it. We played this for like 2 hours last time, and it was great for all 2 hours of it. So let's hopefully have a repeat of that here today. Ral and Clickety Clickety, thanks for the follows. Good morning. And Jabba, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I really appreciate the support. Welcome to the channel this morning. Sorry for being a little delayed on those thank yous. I try to pound through the deck tech without disrupting it. It's fine. Morning, Shaka. Thank you for being socially responsible and getting a vaccine poke, Jabba. Those are sign-ups for vaccine appointments in Illinois where I live are supposed to open in 90 minutes, and my wife is going to look and try and grab us a pair. They just opened it up in my state to everybody 16 and older. Is the combo 4 mana per turn? Yes, exactly that, D. Brian. Just have to mutate. not super nervous. We talked about this yesterday too, but like, I'm a person who enjoys staying in my house even during non-pandemic times. So like, the only real thing that's gonna change once my wife and I get vaccinated is that like, we're gonna have some of our friends over to play board games again. It's been a while since that's been a thing we could do. But I'm here with you all a significant portion of my time anyways, so, you know. We just need a Chad, chat. One of your finest Gideons, please. Am I just cycling this Triome? I think we're just cycling this Triome, right? This is a significant 3-color splash in our mono green deck with mono green not open this time. Gideon being referred to as Chad is just a meme. So this blocks a little bit. This impulses towards Gideon. Could go either way.
If you wish to surrender now,
This is less resource efficient.
for action.
Well, I mean, I guess we're not drawing lands for the next 4 turns. We don't really want to discard any of these. I don't know that that's strictly true. Like, putting Callous Dismissal and Chance for Glory in the graveyard is fine, because Kasmina would give us tokens to mutate onto. I mean, so again, something to understand about the vaccines, Mr. Mojos, is that, like, vaccines aren't 100% effective against COVID. The primary driver of the vaccines is to ensure that if you do get COVID in that small chance, it's not a bout of COVID that puts you in the hospital and makes you end up on a ventilator. The goal of a COVID vaccine in the stage that we have it now, in a lot of ways, is to kind of turn COVID into what the right was pitching it to be the entire time, and to turn it into actually just flu-like, right? Where it isn't a big deal, and it doesn't result in death for most people. Or for the elderly and stuff like that.
Hone your control.
Kind of wish we would have had a land. Yeah, the way the sequencing ended up on this got pretty punished for playing Narset first. I don't know that playing Narset first was wrong in the moment, but definitely feels bad. Yeah, the data on transmission prevention is looking good too. They've had more time to study it, which is great. At least 6 months, Kicker. Alright, well, our opponent's gonna draw 800 cards this turn, but they're also only on 4 lands, so, you know, maybe. In fact, the number of lands my opponent currently has in play could be a contributing factor to us not just being dead here.
Focus on what matters.
I ditch a Chance for Glory here. I'm gonna mutate onto here, which lets me cast Callous Dismissal out of the graveyard to bounce the Korvald, and then this will get to kill Vraska. Also worth noting, this is something that comes up a lot in this deck. Vadrok casts any non-creature spell out of our graveyard. So you saw there, we could recast Narset out of our graveyard here. You could recast Gideon out of your graveyard. So our combo has a lot of moving pieces in it, but it also, Vadrok recasts ones that have gone to the bin. So my opponent's going to draw a bunch of cards here, but this is going to end up back in their hand. And hopefully from a tempo perspective, we can end up ahead here. Because, like, remember, Kasmina has static text here. So, like, if they want to claim the Firstborn Vadrok next turn, it costs them 3 mana, which is huge. And because our deck has a combo kill rolled up in it, you know, this massive amount of card advantage that our opponent has accumulated here isn't necessarily overbearing for us because we can just, like, take the turns and kill them. If they don't kill Vadrok this turn, there's a good chance we combo kill them next turn. Alright, so we're probably dead. Ham Devil's such a frustrating card. It's a real shame that this doesn't stop abilities. You did, totally. It was another good run, though. Yes, the new ward keyword does stop abilities. They have Fabled Passage here for the Mayhem Devil too. I'd be happy with Eldritch, the Eldritch Moon set, honestly. Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon have some of my favorite designs in them. Oh, they could technically deal 3 here, right? They could sack both these foods to the cat plus the passage.
I will return with even more disciples.
Perfect. Yeah, Cube's been fun. We played another Cube draft to start this morning, so if you missed the start of the stream, there'll be one up on YouTube this evening again. If this hits Gideon, I win the game, right? Potentially.
I have practiced against many foes. Meditate and prepare.
I don't think we win if they untap, so I'm gonna try and YOLO it here. Let's skip this match. It's so tedious. No, I'm sorry, Flight Forward. I'm not going to. I actually think this matchup's quite reasonable for us. And we've gotten pretty unlucky to be in the spot that we're in. Like, we're through over half our deck without a Gideon.
Keep an open mind.
Virtue, it's time to give up.
Are we just dead? Flame kills us, I think. Well, they have to deal 12 with Devil Triggers, chat. Yeah, we're not done on board.
So that's what pain feels like.
I was not prepared for this.
And again, like, and this is the thing, like, again, the one thing I've learned streaming a lot based on how they respond to how I play games is a lot of people are really bad at understanding when they have outs and when they should be conceding. And like, because our deck has a combo kill in it, you can stay in games like this a lot longer than you would in most other games of Magic. Like, if they're not killing us, we have huge comeback potential.
I'm sorry.
Do we just die to the cat though? Because we can't give them another churn, right? What if I draw Gideon off the top? Does that do it? Let's start with Deccan Stone and see what they do. I think because of the amount of lands we have, we're probably just dead. Excuse me? I just cast Wrath the God now? And pass? So Cat does 2, puts me to 6. And then they have 3 more next turn. So like Mayhem Devil kills us. There's a super high chance you die to Cats, right? I mean, we die to Mayhem Devil. But no, we're not guaranteed dead to Cats. If I mutate Vadrok and I don't draw exactly Gideon, I lose. So the turn we hit Search for Glory off the Narset, if we would have hit Gideon there instead, we easily win that game, and unfortunately we did not. That's just how Magic goes sometimes. Yeah, we were pretty unlucky that game, all things considered. The fact that it took us like 30 plus, like we saw 30 cards and we still had to use this to find Gideon. Yeah, so I could mutate Vadrok and recast Gideon, but then I'm not taking a turn, chat. The thing that always happens with decks like this when Twitch chat is like half watching me play them is they always think we can do way more things with our deck than we can at the same time. And they're just like, Jeff, you just win. You just take like 6 game actions, 5 of which aren't legal plays. And it's just like, well, chat. Well, you see, I think I want the Abrades here. Really know what I want to cut though. It's like Kasmina. Just slow and clunky. But Jeff, if you cheat, you could win. Yeah. My YouTube comments are very reasonable on my channel. Much like Twitch chat tends to be pretty reasonable here, because similar to my Twitch chat, I aggressively remove people's ability to post comments on my YouTube channel. You post anything marginally inflammatory, you lose your ability to post future comments. Only 2 lands here feels real bad. As an Abrade and a Wrath of God, though. Need 4 lands, Archangel. Assuming you have everything set up, you only need 4 lands. But that assumes that, like, you have Gideon in play and have an emblem. 7 mana is ideal, so you can mutate Vadrok and cast a 3 mana spell in the same turn. But you technically only need 4 lands. But again, there's a lot of asterisks there and things that need to be set up in particular ways. This card's pretty good in this matchup too. Exile all non-legendary permanents. Tags things like ovens and food and stuff out of play.
The gods of this world.
You know, someone mentioned the other day that the audio bug, that's not your sound being broken at home, that's Arena bugging out, only happens on this board. And thinking about it, I think they might actually be correct. I was trying to think through like other times I'd heard the audio bug happen. Just gonna draw this for now, I think. Hey, fruit snack glasses. Thanks for the follow. Midnight Reaper. Yikes. I think I'm gonna Callous Dismissal this and then play this. And then hopefully we'll Ruinous Blast next turn. So this exiles this, but it gets rid of these and they don't get to draw. Not only is this free with how this deck is built anyways, but this gives us a creature we can draw to mutate Vadrok onto, which is good. Yeah, and be a legendary to cast Ruinous Blast with is also accurate. Untapped land would be a great draw here. I think we're just getting Narset. really want to draw untapped land this turn so we can cast Wrath of God and Narset. They have an oven here? Oh, alright, well, we're losing the Narset, I suppose. I think we're just hanging tight, right? It is worth noting that this Vraska isn't card advantage, it's card quality improving, it's turning lands into other things. And the opponent's deck is capable of using a lot of its mana each turn, so like it's not completely free here. Like obviously it's better than it's better than a brick, but I think we're holding on to Gideon until we have a chance for Glory to protect him. I'm just gonna pass for the turn, I think. Because Wrath of God was a Amonkhet or whatever they're called, Android. They picked these extra cards they included in this set were cards that were masterpieces or whatever they were called for this. And the Wrath of God, not Day of Judgment, was that one. Invocation, yeah, that's the word. So they did have a reason for it. We are getting Day of Judgment, to be fair. Yeah, it wasn't just random, right? We had invocations for these cards. They weren't standard legal, but they existed in the set. Collected Company might not have been. Collected Company was a card. Collected Company was going to be a card we were getting anyways, though. So, like, Collected Company and Demonic Pacts were cards that were coming via Pioneer that were just neat to have in the format. I'm aware that we need to bounce the Planeswalker because of her ultimate. I'm explicitly waiting until it has more loyalty on it so that way we can remove the most amount of loyalty by bouncing it. COVID killed Pioneer. Disagree. Wizards' lack of format management killed Pioneer. Pioneer was incredibly popular on Magic Online for a good bit. And then Wizards decided to stop managing the format and leave it an infestation of shitty combo decks that nobody wanted to play against. Saying COVID killed Pioneer is a cop-out. Wizards format management killed Pioneer. Wizards saying Inverter only has a 49% win rate even though nobody wants to play against it, so it's fine to leave in the format. That's what killed Pioneer. I know this dies to Vraska, but she draws another card. And yeah, this gives us... Do I just take another Narset here? I feel like it's not crazy to take another Narset. I think I take the other Narset, and then there's still 4 Chance for Glories in my deck. So I think I take Narset, and then next turn we Narset, hit Chance for Glory, and then play Gideon. And then we get another Narset activation, and maybe we snowball from there. Thanks for the follows, by the way. Hard to beat and Space Cowboy. Welcome to the channel.
I won't forget our time together.
So, to be fair to them, Sunback, when they talk about win rates, they generally speaking remove mirror matches. It doesn't make sense to include mirror matches when you talk about win rates. Pierogi Addict, thanks for the sub gifts. Good morning.
There are so many mysteries to uncover. I have just the trick for this.
Okay.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
We didn't do it. We don't quite have enough mana to do everything yet. And if they have Noxious Grasp, they technically get us here. It's a shame we don't have a 9th mana. Yeah, you can't mutate onto Gideon yet.
Meditate and prepare.
Defend yourself.
Oh, you know what I should have done? I could have played around Noxious Grasp here. I should have turned Gideon into an indestructible human, and then they have to grasp in response, and then I can play second Gideon. I could have played around Noxious Grasp here. So if I would have middled ability instead of playing Narset, yeah, we lose the game here. Yeah, I messed this up. So pretty unlucky in the first game. Missequenced here in a way that allowed me to not play around this. Honestly, the fact that we were in that game for as long as we were, despite our opponent drawing infinite cards and us just drawing a bunch of bricks, was pretty impressive. One of those not super intuitive plays, right? Where I'm supposed to like use my Gideon first. The lines of this deck are a spaghetti mess. You're not wrong, Rhino. Is this a spell? I feel like it's probably a land, because if I draw too many lands, Kasmina can loot through them, right? I agree that cat loops are tedious, and this format would be much better off if they didn't exist. It's still mind-boggling to me to this day that they banned Cat Oven in Standard, citing that it was too slow to play against on Magic Arena while simultaneously leaving it legal in this format. That type of logical inconsistency, I think, is one of Wizards' biggest failings as a game company. It's something that they do pretty consistently. The only thing they could say consistently do is be inconsistent. Like banning Winota and then printing Muxus into Historic, stuff like that. Where it's just like, well, you did this thing, but there's this other thing that you should probably also be doing based on the same logic.
Listen up, and I'll teach you a trick or two. Every day is a new lesson.
Two tinfoil hats in order to be competitive against Cat Oven, you have some sort of combo kill in your deck? Nah, I don't think that's true at all. That's not been my experience, at least in the slightest.
Regardless, I have learned much.
We're just casting Wrath the God, right? Hey, what's going on, Panda Ninja? Sometimes when you resub, you have to refresh your page because it gives you a thing to send a message through with it. Welcome back, though. If you refresh your browser page, it'll probably give you a pop-up to send it through. Well, their Vorinclex is dead here, so there's a chance that they can't kill us this turn. See, just like that. It's amazing how long that's been a Twitch bug. I don't know why that hasn't been fixed. Speaking of quality software. Yeah, do we beat this? Probably not. I guess I could bounce one of them, but they have mana to recast it, right? They have a red source here. I suppose I could hit, like, Chad into Vadrok here, and then Pippity pop off, potentially. So we'll take a couple of draw steps here and see what we get going.
Cold time, surely you can handle a little pain.
Putrid, but effective.
Yeah, Ultimatum definitely feels like a historic power level card, not a standard power level card. Like, when one card I cast, I win the game, just, like, really doesn't belong in standard. I think it's more than fine in this format, especially at 7 mana. But yeah, standard will be much better once Ikoria and Eldraine leave. Ikoria is mostly fine, except for Yorion and Ultimatum, but Yorion and Ultimatum are both pretty offensive. I also just like a big part of why I'm excited for standard rotation 2, like, not only is Eldraine and, like, Ultimatum smothering, but I just want, and maybe the Mystical Archives will make this happen too, but standard and historic right now feel very samey in a lot of ways. And, like, standard just feels like a narrow version of historic to me in a lot of instances. Which has removed a lot of the appeal to playing it. Like, I don't think I'd call current standard a bad format, but it's just, like, markedly worse than historic in my opinion, because all the things that are good there you can also play in historic, and historic has a bunch of extra other stuff as well. Yeah, it's a great way. It's like Diet Coke historic is a great way to put it. Yeah, it doesn't feel unique. And one of Magic's greatest strengths as a game is that, you know, there's generally speaking a variety of formats that you can play. So, like, Magic's not just historic or standard. It's a bunch of other things, limited, cube, stuff like that. So when two of the formats feel very samey, it's a little bit sad because you lose part of some of that key variety. That's normally a good strength. Standard's not rotating soon. 5 months from now is not soon, chat. It's 5.5 months. It's like the end of September. Strixhaven releases soon. 7 days from now is soon. Yeah, it's soon TM. That's accurate. I mean, what's 5 more months of March between friends, right? Standard rotating, yeah, it's like standard rotating soon is like it'll be over by Easter soon, right? What's going on, Sword and Shield? Welcome back. It's good to see you around again. Get you a mod sword for while you're here.
open mind.
You have a sword and shield, sword and shield. Isn't that fitting? Glory, glory, hallelujah. Do 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 do. I'm getting Vadrok here. It could be Kasmina, actually. Yeah, I think I actually like Kasmina. Do we know when we'll be getting deck lists for the League weekend? Who cares? It's amazing to me how Wizards of the Coast manages to constantly schedule their events in formats that nobody gives a shit about. Like, there's an MPL League weekend this weekend. I should be excited to watch some of the best people in Magic play Magic, but like both these formats are changing like next week, right? Like why is there a League weekend this weekend? Why is there high level Magic play? Old man Swede, thanks for the 19 months of Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
My mind needs a rest.
Listen, chat, we've all been there. We've all cast our cantrip before attacking the Narset. Don't act like you haven't done it before. You're a liar. You've done it before.
It's us or them. I hope the right side. My students are loyal and brilliant.
Oh, I should board this card out. This card's quite bad in this matchup. Forgot we had that hiding at the top end of our curve. Yeah, that would actually, so like that right there is the big brain. This is what should happen if Wizards understood their product. The big brain play would be Wizards loading up a test server and telling all of the MPL you're playing with Strixhaven cards before everybody else gets their hands on them. I'd be glued to my computer all weekend if that was the case.
My students are loyal geniuses.
Instead, we end up with them constantly playing formats that I couldn't care less about watching because they're formats that are going away. So we're 1 mana short on Vadrok, being able to search and then Vadrok this turn. We'll Gideon and we'll bubble the Hydroid Crisis here.
Prepare to defend yourself.
Hearthstone did that and it was wildly disliked, actually. Didn't Hearthstone, like they did an actual tournament pre-released, Andrew? Or they gave content creators access to things far in advance. I thought Hearthstone gave, like, content creators, like, 3 or 4 days in advance. I didn't realize they did an actual tournament in advance as well. It's unfortunate. There's the part where they play an untapped land and then ultimatum me. Speaking of Strixhaven and people being excited to watch things, by the way, release weekend for Strixhaven, if you're into Historic and want to watch the format be played, we're going to be playing it in the Hoaglandia Online Open Tournament Series on the 17th. So feel free to drop on by and play in that or watch other people play in that. It's going to be sweet. Is this lethal? This might be lethal.
Your defeat is inevitable.
They could have a counterspell for search here. I guess I need a land. I need an untapped land, right? No, do I need a land? I'm trying to think here. So I can cast this Rodan and cast a Chance for Glory. And then next turn, if I draw an untapped land, I can search for second Vadrok and win the game. Yes, we have two shots to draw a land here. So I need an untapped land next turn with my draw step. So if we draw untapped land, this gets us second Vadrok and we win the game. Oh, I messed up. I could have made this indestructible permanently by making it a thing first. Small mistake. No, I had the emblem already. I mean, Pact of Negation's not a terrible draw. Pact of Negation probably means I get another turn next turn. This is probably our best non-land draw in the deck. I guess drawing this naturally would have done it too.
No trial is beyond my ability.
Did we do the thing? Not yet. We bricked on a land. I think we get to do the thing next turn, though. They could have something that, like, exiles my board. This doesn't matter, right? I just let this happen.
We will not fail. The land fights for us.
Yeah, with Gideon Emblem, you don't have to pay for pack, chat. It's literally just free counterspell.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Yeah, we should. This should be game over now. And then, because we have unlimited turns, the Gideon eventually kills them here. Do we have the mana to do this? Yeah, you only need 4 land, Stormcooper. We're taking unlimited turns, so we get to... That blocks Gideon. Huh. So do I... Now I have to do this and get rid of the Crisis, right? They're still dead, right? Yeah, we have unlimited turns, so like the game is over. It's just gonna take us longer to actually kill them. So again, how this works is this goes over here, and this casts Chance for Glory. And then this gives us a turn. Eventually, we start hitting land drops like this as we go. And now we'll make this a thing. And we'll attack with both of these. No, you don't have to cast 2 Vadroks in 1 turn. Because you get an extra turn. This is indestructible, so it can attack in. And then we mutate this onto here, which lets us bounce this stack back to our hand, plus cast an extra turn. So that's the loop. That's how you get going. Rinse, repeat. Why not bounce the shark? Because then I can't keep taking extra turns automatic. Was bouncing the shark lethal? I didn't count. You have to bounce your thing so that way you get to keep taking turns. I have no idea. I didn't count automatic. If you're saying you counted and I kill them by bouncing the thing, I believe you, but I'm also telling you I didn't count and I didn't need to because we had all of the turns and we were going to kill them doing what I was doing guaranteed, so. I believe you that you found a more click efficient play, but I'm not going to sit here and count it because it's actually irrelevant. Counting is for nerds. We're just here to take all the turns. Exactly. This beacon, though. Let's draw some blue sources here, huh? I counted the number of turns we were going to take, and the answer was all of them. Yep. This right here is a reason to keep the hand we kept. It's like, don't mulligan against the Thoughtseize deck. Mulligan to a better hand, get Thoughtseize, and it's a bad hand automatically.
Watch over me.
They Nissa next turn. I'm pretty sad that I made an emblem here. If they have anything other than Nissa, I like getting my emblem into play proactively. How's Bioshock? It was really good, Panda. Bioshock's gonna be our next variety game until we're done with it. So we'll be revisiting that this afternoon after we're done with this deck. Well, they haven't just windmill slammed to Nissa, so that's good for us.
No power over me.
Did we see anything out of them that kills Gideon at instant speed? Does Vorinclex stop our zombie token? I think so, but you can bounce Vorinclex with the spell. Yeah, but they could kill him next turn at instant speed, chat. They could kill him during my upkeep. It's probably better to just grab a planes. Is Disco Elysium in the docket? No. I think even with the voice acting, that's still more of a book than a video game. I don't think there's enough action in it for my liking. I should have plus Gideon here because of Shark Typhoon and Nissa. Yeah, it's a pretty big mistake. Leaving him dead to Shark Typhoon's a pretty big punt. They have Vorinclex as well, probably dead.
Count on a rematch.
No, we have a snow island. I just chose not to go get it.
Join my order. Unity is necessary. Join my cause.
Yeah. So even if I had plus the Gideon, the Vorinclex meant we were going to die there. Maybe I'm supposed to leave in some Wrath of God or some Deck and Stone because of Vorinclex. Good, I can see that. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. We're on the draw, which is a little bit sad. No early plays. Bottom of Hallowed Fountain here. Morning, big boy. Thanks for the 33 months. The Sand's all right against Thalia until we get, or against Mono White until we get Thalia. Or Redeemed. Redeemed used to be pretty bad for us. Just get Gideon here to bubble their one threat. Are they like mono white aggro that just had a really bad keep? Hoping they don't have a 1-drop here as well. That's fine. That doesn't count.
If it's a fight you want, then a fight now. It's my turn.
So it's our best draw, Deck and Stone or another Wrath of God here. With that play, I'm hoping to draw a land so I can Gideon plus Search or Gideon plus Rodan. Nice dibbles. How do we feel about search for Narset, play Gideon plus Gideon on Legion Angel, and then if we draw untapped land, we can Narset Impulse for Wrath of God or Deck and Stone? I think that's the play.
I will prove myself worthy. Try getting through me.
We could just get Ruinous Blast. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that's totally the play. Good call. Right, we could just grab a sweeper. That's sick. Sign me up. So looking to dodge Maul of the Skyclaves here. Because Maul would let Skyclave kill Gideon. Double Luminarch also bad for us. Oh, this does it on its own, right? Yeah. Yikes.
I'm sorry.
Am I Deccan Stoning this turn? I could have Deccan Stoned and then mutated. Is that good? Maybe that was good. Would have let me cast this and find another thing. Or would have let me recast Gideon? Yeah, that was definitely the line. I didn't think about that at all. God, the lines with this deck are so weird. Is this a land? I think this is a land. Nah, it's probably a spell, right? Killing a Legion Angel seems good. This is a spell.
For my life. We are the future.
Probably should have manually tapped there.
Focus on what matters.
Deccan Stone, Narset, a Splitter Twin situation. Yeah, basically.
Virtue will always triumph.
Yeah, I think we're done here. Vadrok letting you recast your... Vadrok letting us recast the creatures out of the... or the planeswalkers out of the bin is so good. Yeah, it casts Gideon and Narset, which is, again, another big part of, like, what makes this deck tick and be competitive, is that, like, you're just this okay Jeskai mid-range value deck. What were we searching for there? I don't know, actually. Probably just another Narset, because, like, searching for Narset is the closest thing you get to searching for Chance for Glory. because Narset impulses for them. I know we already had a Narset in hand, but finding more chances at chance for Glare is the way we put the game away. It's a deafening Clarion matchup. I don't know how aggressive they actually are. Yeah, they had a lot of ways to outscale Clarion. I agree with that. Might just be a couple of breeds in. Could this deck use Brainstorm? I don't think so. To play Brainstorm in this deck, you need to fundamentally redesign it in order to be able to shuffle more consistently. And I don't know that you can do that while also maintaining the core of the deck. Any tips to tell when you're running cold versus when your deck is just bad? Yeah, do a bunch of math to figure out how likely the situations you're getting into are to happen. Learn how to use the hypergeometric distribution. At the end of the day, there's not really a concrete way to do it though, because there's too many variables in Magic. A lot of it's gut feelings and experience based. My body is ready to Brainstorm and Neoform combo. Yeah, that deck probably wants Brainstorm real bad. That's a deck that almost assuredly wants a bunch of Brainstorms. How greedy is it to bottom this? Probably pretty greedy. Is it wrong, though? If it's wrong, do I want to be right? Let's spike a white source. Never didn't have it. Magic's a low variance, high skill game where the better player frequently wins. Wow, no turn 2 play is absurd for us. Chad even takes care of their creature lands here.
Prepare to defend yourself. I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, I think we're dead.
That stings.
Maul's real good here. Maul with the creature land is, get the 2-for-1 here. Not just dead, but... Oh, I didn't need to shock for that, did I? Alright, if I lose by 2 points of life, which we really could, putting myself to 16 against their Faceless Haven's real bad. Gonna... It comes with a sideboard. I could get you in tomorrow, Crunchy, but I'm not doing another Magic deck today. And I don't have the capability to run late today, unfortunately. So we can beat that. I just gotta figure out what our sequencing looks like. We do double chance, right? These stack. Yeah, that's totally the line. And that's honestly, this is another thing that came up a ton. A lot of the cards people want to play as hate cards against this deck get bounced by Callous Dismissal. Which is kind of excellent. Oh, I probably should have put this on the token, right? Well, I guess this one's indestructible and this one's not.
Worthy opponent.
So not going infinite here. Yeah, if we had another Vadrok or a Search for Glory, we would have won the game this turn. But that's fine. We're still in an okay spot, right? Is this vigilant? This is totally vigilant. Listen, chat, our deck's really good. It's gonna drag us kicking and screaming across the finish line. That's a huge punish for not splitting these up. Although I guess I get 6 CMs, a 6/6 token next turn, which is nice. No, we get 1 6/6, I believe, is how this works. The fact that I missed a 3-pointer could really end up mattering here. Well, I have a Gideon emblem, so we're not dead this turn, but we're dead next turn with the land. Chance for Glory's lethal, though. This is also lethal, because it gets a Vadrok, which is a Chance for Glory. The positions you win from in this deck are really silly. Nate C, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, just like, this is, I've talked about how there hasn't been a historic deck that like really hits for me that I've found yet. And this is the first historic deck that like, it's like, man, this one really makes my brain work and it feels pretty competitive in terms of the types of interaction it has and the amount of the games it's able to wiggle its way out of. Yes, yeah, this deck is very resilient. The way you have your tutors and like Narsets and Vadrok recast your pieces out of the bin, and you have anti-hate cards with things that let you bounce stuff. This deck, the This deck is just constantly losing until it wins. Yeah, like, you look like you're really far behind, and then suddenly you're like, oh, I'm gonna, like, bounce your board, like, I take all the turns now. We're done. Yeah, like, and so, like, Callous Dismissal 2, because our deck is a combo deck, like, Callous Dismissal, tempoing your opponent is frequently very good, because it, like, gives you time to get to your combo quite frequently. To set a low bar BSQ, I think this is the best of those 3 Jeskai decks you just listed. There's a new tutor coming in Strixhaven that can find Chance for Glory. What is that? I'm not familiar with that card. Three mana, grab it, and sorcery. That's probably too slow and bad. Do I reach into the fridge and eat their food, or do I just Narset? I probably just Narset, right?
The past, present, I have just the trick for this.
Hey, Angry Land, thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. Appreciate the support. You know what card out of the new set might be good in here? There's a blue-red card in the new set that it's blue-red sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put 1 on the bottom, put 1 in your hand, exile the 3rd, and you can play the exiled card till end of turn. That card's like legit pretty good. It's actually kind of a hard choice. These spells are good, and, like, the land is good. Yeah, it's probably Gideon uptick on Devil. I think I agree with that. Expressive Iteration is what you're talking about. Sure, yeah, that one.
Defend yourself.
I'm not gonna know the names of new cards until we're, like, 2 or 3 weeks in.
I've been waiting for this.
Heed my instruction and prepare for war. Hone your control.
I think we're ditching search here. Yes, I think this board is the one that the audio bug occurs in. Yeah, second Vadrok is what we need to combo from here. And we can technically search for glory to find it in a roundabout way. It takes more mana, though. Narset stop Scorefall. That's so good. We start here, right?
Every day is a new lesson.
I don't need this Gideon, right? Oh, my sequencing here is bad, by the way. I'm aware that my sequencing is bad.
The side of justice will never lose.
Are we? I think we're good. We get to do this. And then take a turn. And then play a land. And then next turn, yeah, okay, so they're dead. Because next turn I get to play untapped land, search for second Vadrok, and combo from there. Or we could just draw a chance for glory naturally. Oh, they're just dead. They're just dead to this being a 4 in the air, right? Yeah. All right, sweet. Good chat. Good chat, chat. Good talk. Good talk. I'm pretty sure this matchup is just a braid in for more ways to take Mayhem Devil off the table. Can we trim a couple of Kasmina? Would Izzet Command make the sideboard for this? What problem are you solving with Izzet Command? I think Lightning Helix and Lightning Helix or Rip Apart are probably more likely to be cards we want to play. Like, there's a good chance Rip Apart is an upgrade to a Braid. Like, I think I've got a Braid and Clarion on the board right now. I think the 2 a Braid, 2 Clarion probably becomes 2 Rip Apart, 2 Helix. I think is what I would do. Helix is coming to Historic, mommy. Helix is an archive. Hey, Weg, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Is this a spell? Yeah, you should take a look at my archives review. I think there's a chance this is a spell. With our 5th land drawn here. Yeah, like, imagine this is a Rip Apart. We get to rip apart the Trail of Crumbs here. I'm gonna braid... Am I gonna braid the Witch's Oven? Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just eat their food. This is a little bit worse if they have Cat here. Steve! Thanks for the follow. They don't have Cat, I like eating their food. Never lucky. Okay, so... Is this still a spell? I think so. Darth Shatner, thanks for the follow. Good morning. Berserker Blitz, thanks for the follow. Alright, are we casting Explore? Casting Explore is a little bit of a risk if they have Noxious Grasp, which they likely do post-board. I think we just Chad and then Emblem Chad. So, the more I pay attention to the audio bug, I don't actually think it's memory leak related. I think the audio bug occurs on this board because this board changes the music it plays when you play certain guild cards. And I think that that causes it to bug out sometimes. Something with whatever this board is doing. A Tale of Friendship. Good morning and welcome. Okay, so they have Devil. Binding, sure. And then I'm gonna do this and make this indestructible. And then we could Vadrok flashback Chad here. Something irrelevant. I want to attack. Actually, you know what I should have done? The big brain play here was plus on my own Vadrok, so that way my Gideon doesn't die to acclaim the firstborn. It's a downside to attacking. Cauldron Familiar gets to hit my Gideon for a point of damage. Good morning, Charizard. And the big brain play was bubbling my own creature. Hey, it's good to be back, Dex. Thanks for the third of year. I appreciate you keeping me around. Vadrox is clearly the middle child, so he's safe from claim the firstborn. I wish this card was 4 to cast and 3 to mutate, so it could dodge that. It would be great. So our opponent gets to draw 2 cards here with Corvald, but Wrath of God lets me kill that, and it doesn't kill my Vadrok because I have, because it's indestructible from Chance for Glory. What's our best draw here? Another copy of Vadrok? If they thought sees us here, we get into a lot of trouble. You have to top deck at that point. So frustrating. It lets them draw 2 more cards. Would Life from Loam be an addition you'd want in Historic? I don't think it really does anything. Like, what does Life from the Loam do in this format? Can you explain? What is it good against? What, like, I can't think of a deck that Loam would be playable in. Is another Vadrok the full combo? Yeah, it would be actually. Yeah, Vadrok or Search for Glory there would have won the game on the spot, because we have both Callous and Chance in here, and we have the Gideon in play. I don't want to attack the Gideon in, because they would just sack the cat and then block. I'm going to take the line and bubble my thing to play around, play around, what's it called here? Yeah, the people saying Life from the Loam would, like, make dredge things happen. I don't think that's true. Yeah, they can only do 3. I don't have a Gideon in play though, right? Is the problem? So I can like mutate Vadrok and like take a turn and bounce my pile, but yeah, I cast 2 spells, but one of them has to be an extra turn spell, chat. So I have draws that let us win the game next turn from here. I don't have a search in my graveyard. Next turn, we get 3 mutate triggers. How? So another Vadrok lets us combo from here.
I'm going in.
All right, you know, magic's easy. Just draw what you need. Search for Glory also did it. For the record, Search for Glory also did it. So it wasn't just this, but this definitely does it. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I feel like after playing that set, and when people ask me what my favorite historic deck is, I think I have an answer for them now. Yeah, like this one is gas. I need to think about the mana a little bit more. I think the mana's right. It might be right to give up this Interplanar Beacon for another duel. We had a game where we couldn't cast our blue spells. I don't think Strixhaven changes the main deck here. Like, I don't think this is a Brainstorm or Faithless Looting deck. I think Rip Apart and Helix are probably better than a Braid and Clarion in the sideboard. Like, these 3 pieces of creature interaction could look very different depending on what you wanted to do. I'm not sure if these are the right cards that I want for control. It could be that this Hero of Dominaria is better as a 6th counterspell because more counterspells are better against like the other combo decks in the format, like Sultai Ultimatum. Now, I think Prismari Command's probably worse than both Helix and Rip Apart in this deck. I don't really know that it's doing things that we're interested in. Now, I like the flexibility to kill enchantments. I like the flexibility to be able to hit opposing planeswalkers. What about the new counterspell, Memory Lapse? I don't think so. Like, maybe Memory Lapse is better than Spell Pierce. Maybe. I could see Memory Lapse being better than Spell Pierce. That's probably, like, worth testing. Like, I'm not confident that this is the right mix of counterspells. I think I want, like, 5 to 6 counterspells, and, like, Negate, Spell Pierce, Pact of Negation, and Memory Lapse could be in the mix, too. You think looting could be good for us? Maybe. So, like, Vadrok flashes things back out of the graveyard, but I don't really have cards I, like, actively want to put in my graveyard, and I'm pretty happy with all of the spells that we're playing in the main already. Like, if you ask me, like, Jeff, what are cards you can change in this deck? Like, I honestly think, like, all of these spells in this line, I would consider spells that are core to what this deck is doing. So you have, like, 7 spell slots here to play with. We're at 26 lands. Honestly, I wouldn't hate getting another Shatterskull Smashing or another spell land in here, if only so I have more lands that Narset can impulse into, because Narset being able to help you make land drops on occasion is really nice. But honestly, all of these cards have been good too. Deck Stone could maybe be a different piece of interaction in the main. Jawari Disruption. Yeah, maybe I could see Disruption being okay. The problem with Beacon and a spell land is that like Beacon is white and blue for these, so like it helps you cast these spells, which is something to consider too. Like the mana base isn't super easy because like we're looking to cast white and blue cards, and this is red. So like we need double colors of 3 different colors in this deck. So you can't really afford to be greedy and play a bunch of single colored things. Yeah, we have double pips on 3, and eventually we need the third double pips as well. So there's a lot of things to consider. Vision could be okay because it flashes back. That one only finds sorceries and instants, right? Doesn't find our planeswalkers. Yeah, we don't actually have that many instants and sorceries. If it could find planeswalkers, this card would be baller, but... Alright, at any rate, that's going to wrap up on Magic for me for the afternoon. I appreciate everybody hanging out. If this was your first time seeing this deck, you should hang out here more often. You should check out my YouTube channel as well. Everything I stream gets uploaded to my YouTube channel. So if you look back on there in the historic playlist, we've played this deck very close to it once before, and it was good then. And I'm excited to play more of it once we get some new cards. So my plans for Magic: I'm going to be live again tomorrow morning. We're gonna maybe do another cube draft. We're definitely gonna do some more historic, and then I'm going to take Saturday and Sunday off, and then Monday and Tuesday next week, I'm not planning to actually play Magic Arena, but we're going to spend Monday and Tuesday theory crafting, building decks for the Strixhaven release. So we've had a ton of viewer deck submissions. So Sultai Citadel Storm, Red Green Ponza, Green White Ephemerate, Red Black Pyromancer, Naya Midrange Tendril Storm, something with Blue Sun Zenith, Mind's Desire, Blue Green Taking Turns, Green White Taxes, Blue Red Fatcaster Mage. So there's a ton of decks in here that we've got queued up. If you have a deck idea you'd like to support my content a little bit that you'd like to see built on stream next week and then eventually played on stream once we get through some of these others, $50 for a $50 donation, I would love to build and play a deck idea for you on stream at some point in the future. Fatcaster Mage is Torrential Gear Hulk. So that's my plans. We'll be back. I did say pod, so we're getting Stone Rain, chat. Stone Rain is